Well, we've had a good few days. Rested on Thursday, then it's been really just getting ourselves acclimated with where we need to improve, and as usual, it's constant. You want your improvement to be constant, whether it's the skills, the shooting, but certainly all the things that we've got to do to get better defensively, things we've got to do better in transition and rebounding, all those different things we've worked really hard at. At the same time, I had a little time to put the Iowa plan in as we've gone along. So our guys are excited to play. It's the last week of the regular season, 2 games at home. The final chances this year to play in front of the crowd, and the crowd has been fantastic. We've got to have incredible energy in this building starting Tuesday night. Just incredible energy, because we're playing 2 teams that have been that are road tested and have won on the road. And starting with Iowa, they play extremely fast. The one thing we're trying to get across to our players is they are as fast after the made basket, after your made basket, as they are after your missed shot. And we've got to be, there's got to be just a high level of urgency in getting back, getting matched up, getting to the corners, getting to the rim. And they get the ball out of bounds quick, but they've got great runners, great striders. So the running ability of guys like Aaron White is amazing, and it really is. They just keep getting better. And then as we showed them film from Penn State, an overtime game, they never wore down in that game. I mean, they kept running and pushing and playing, and that's what it takes this time of year. And it's the test of skill, the test of will, and a battle for endurance. I mean, it really is, not to sound cliche-ish, but I mean, that's what it is. I mean, you've got to have that constantly, and that's what we're working towards. And we have a lot of respect for Iowa, a ton of respect for Coach McCaffrey and their staff, and they're playing at an extremely high level. They're a veteran team, obviously. They got a lot of length, they got a lot of size, they can play multiple defenses, and they've got a lot of very skilled players. Mike Gazelle's one of the better floor generals in the country. He can make shots, he can make mid-range, he finds people. When they win, he's getting a high number of assists, and they can space the floor. They shoot the 3 well. They shoot it really well in transition. So again, you're not just getting back and getting to the rim in the corners. You're getting back and getting 3-point shooters marked, and that's really important. And but at the end of the day, it comes down to not only your transition defense and your half-court defense, but do you finish the defense with the rebound? And that's where we've got to really be good. When we've won games, we're +8 on the glass. When we've lost, we're -5. And we've got to be on the plus side. We've been on the plus side more times maybe than I thought we would have been, but we've really got to be on the plus side now. So our rebounding is crucial. Keeping them off the foul line is crucial. Getting back in transition, like I've talked about, is crucial. And it's not a game where matchups make a lot of sense because of their size. So we just got to do the very best job we can do with that, and at the same time be able to switch defenses. It's not like we can say, okay, we've got numerous guys to match up with Aaron White or with Utah, and just got to do the best we can do with that. But there's got to be a high level of urgency, so we try to challenge their shots rather than giving them anything open early in the clock or when the shot goes up. Go ahead.
Any update on Collins?
That's one reason I was late getting out here. I don't know on the plan. I would not hold out hope. I was just watching him shoot, and he's working really hard. He's not doing anything live with us yet. We miss him. I mean, we really do. We don't just miss the fact that he's the leading 3-point shooter in the league percentage-wise. We miss his hustle game. We miss the spacing that he brings. You can put him in all kinds of different situations, offensively and defensively. You can switch with him. He fights, and we miss him. We really do miss him. And so I wouldn't hold out hope right now for having him on Tuesday night. But he's making progress. And when we say day to day, that's literally what it is. He was much better today than he was yesterday. But will it be good enough? I'm just not sure. I mean, it would be great to have. We went through that span where we didn't have Hunter, for weeks. We go up to Wisconsin, we make a run at the end of the game. We didn't have James Blackman in that game. Everybody goes through injuries. We've rarely, there haven't been that many times we've had everybody together for a stretch. We've had them together for games, but for a really long stretch. But hopefully we get through this and we get him back here fairly soon.
Is it? I guess with bone bruises, it's just kind of as a response, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like structural. It's basically just when it decides to
Absolutely,
decide.
yeah. And some people, everything is different. You should constantly learn. But he's very diligent. As you would probably think, he's very diligent in his rehab. And we're talking about a guy that recovered from that surgery the way that he did. So, no, this is just really what's going to give him the best chance to be successful and when he's as pain-free as much as he can possibly be. But again, he's making progress. 2 days ago the progress was slow, and overnight, it's much better. So, but there's no clear cut. Okay, he'll be back at this point in time yet. We're not there.
I guess you've got this bye coming up. It's a little bit weirdly timed once the road schedule's already over, and as you talk about, it's right before the last week of the season. Is it something where you come into Big Ten play thinking, at least loosely, here's what we'll be able to do with that week, or is it something where you need to get to the week?
What do you mean when you come into it at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, like when you sort of lay out the season, or is it something where you need to get to the week?
No, you need to get to it. Yeah, I think all that is saying, hey, I have a plan and a strategy, but if you're not willing to adjust it and be flexible, it's not any good. So we've looked at exactly what we needed to do, and we were very pinpointed on what we needed to improve upon. And Thursday was spent a lot of, where we didn't practice, but a lot of really looking at, okay, what has to happen for us right now? What do we need to do? What can we really improve upon? How close is this? How close is that? And at the same time, get ready for the games. And in my case, I haven't watched Michigan State other than looking at their box score tonight, but I've been really studying Iowa and at the same time studying us. So we're always in a self-scout, I would think, but this period gives you a little bit more time with that. But we've had high-level practices, very energetic, very up and down in the sense of competitive, scrimmage-type situations, keeping ourselves sharp, and at the same time segmenting them into areas. And especially we can come back from the game the other night where we weren't very good defensively in one span. We weren't great defensively in the game, but the one span where Trey Demps really took the game over, and what we could have done better there. Our ball screen coverages weren't as good there in the zone or man, especially on the side, and a chance to really. I'm just giving you one example. You can really refurbish those things, and at the same time really work on watching guys' energy levels go up and their skill levels go up. And I've never believed that you are who you are. You always, at this time of year, you're always working to improve, always. And this team has got a great attitude towards improvement. They got a high-level attitude towards getting better. And that's been that way all year. That's why we've been resilient. That's why we've bounced back. That's why we've been consistent throughout the entire year. That's why there's 4 non-conference top 25 wins, and we have 2 of them. They've been able to respond all year long, and I think that's why they're a joy to be around.
And this year in the Big Ten, there just seems to be a lot of teams that are perceived to be "quote-unquote" on the bubble. How does that maybe affect your preparation for a team like Iowa or Michigan State that might be coming in here, really wanting more than just a win, but really trying to solidify?
It doesn't affect it at all. Iowa's, we're getting ready for Iowa. It doesn't matter what their record is. It doesn't matter what their RPI is or anything like that. It matters what their skill level is and how well coached they are, and what their capabilities are. And then there's trends. You're always looking at those, but no, we don't get caught up in that. We really don't. And that all those things, they just become distractions to what you have to be totally locked into, which is how much better you can get, how you prepare to play that team, what they do well, what you have to take away, what the personnel is like. And this gives us a little bit of extra time to even dive more into the personnel, which is important, but that's all it really becomes about.
Is it fair to say that Iowa's one of the more physical teams you guys have played all year?
They're one of the better teams. So, physicality comes into it, mental toughness comes into it, speed and endurance. They go. They really, really go. What they have is tremendous experience. They have so many guys who've been through it, and they're a resilient team. I mean, they've showed great resiliency. So, I mean, and I think Aaron White's the second most efficient offensive player in the league behind Frank Kaminsky. At least he was a couple days ago when I looked at it, and I'm sure that hasn't changed. And you've got guys that are capable of having big nights. You know, they've got very good balance. They're big. They're big and strong. Where their physicality really comes out is on the glass. So they're going to be physical with their screening. And if you're not aware and you're not ready to get hit, you're going to be hit. But you